The system requirements to play Cyberpunk 2077 on PC just dropped, and surprisingly they are very low, which is a good thing. There was a leak of a PC requirement a while back from SteelSeries and it looks like it was a complete fake. So let's get into the details. You only need a 4-core 4-thread processor and an 8 gigs of RAM to run the game at minimum settings. As for graphic card, they are saying that you need a GTX 780 of 3GB or an RX 470 of 4GB, which is almost as powerful as the extremely popular 570. And that's what you need to play the game on smooth 30 FPS at 1080p on minimum settings. So what about 60 FPS gameplay? So to play at 60 FPS on high settings, to everyone's surprise, you only need a GTX 1060 6GB or an R9 Fury 4GB. These cards are below the medium tier now, which is extraordinary. The R9 Fury is a little bit better than the RX 580. They're kinda similar, so the 580 users can celebrate and enjoy the game extremely well. The delay of the game seems to have given CD Red Project enough time to optimize the game, but nobody expects this much of a tweak. But also remember that these requirements are for 1080p gaming without ray tracing. And if I'm a betting man, a 2060 Super should be good with ray tracing on at 30 frames per second at 1080p on performance mode. It's probably safe to say that with the performance numbers of the recent 3080, that it will take a 3080 to run the game with ray tracing on around possibly 60 frames per second at ultra settings. So with DLSS and ray tracing combined, a 2080 Ti could play the game at 4K 60 FPS. Surely they will reveal the 2K and 4K ray tracing requirements next month. Hopefully it will be as easygoing as this one. If so, the RTX 2000 series owners will have a great time with the game as well. Another interesting thing that I noticed is that the recommended Intel processor, which is i7-4790, only supports DDR3 RAM up to 1600 MHz, and it's still recommended for a 60 FPS gameplay on high settings. This is a great move from CD Red Project, as this alone assures me that the game is extremely optimized, as RAM speeds have a great impact on gameplay. Hopefully this will reflect on higher resolutions as well. As for hard disk requirements, they are recommending an SSD and a space requirement of 70 gigs. With the upcoming consoles with the SSDs and games which need quick data loading, having an SSD is a must. Other games like World of Warcraft also recommended an SSD for smoother gameplay recently. Do note that you don't need a NVMe or PCIe SSD for Cyberpunk. You need to at least have a normal 2.5-inch SATA SSD to experience the game without lags and stutter, mostly due to the need for faster data handling. Normal mechanical hard disks could still play the game, but you might experience higher game load times, occasional stuttering, and especially during driving, which can break the immersion. All in all, the requirements for the game looks extremely promising, which is a rare thing these days, as some games even flaunt a 2080 Ti as a recommended GPU even on Full HD resolution. So if you have a RX 570 or a GTX 970, you're good to go. Also remember that the minimum requirements are for smooth 30 FPS gameplay, and you could get away using a lesser processor like a 2-core 4-thread i3 at lower resolutions. But the 3GB video RAM requirement is a real concern for me, as it could end up like Gears 5, which also had a terrible texture loading issue with cards having 2GB or less. If that's the case, you might have to get an upgrade. I hope that it's not the case, especially for the GTX 960 users, as you guys definitely don't deserve it. So if you liked the video and would like to see more content like this, drop a like and subscribe, as it will help me reach more awesome people like yourself. Bye.
Everyone in this city lives in their own bubble, and either you fly high or sink into quicksand.